Hi everyone, Dr. Joanne here with another video. This one is called How to Heal Cancer Using Your Mind. So I'm a mind-body doctor and a mindset coach for women. And let me start off with our medical disclaimer. This video and the information I'm about to share is not meant to be medical advice. So if you need medical advice, make sure that you talk to your primary healthcare provider. And in the meantime, though, you're always welcome to look at mindset stuff because in the mindset world, it's all about quantum physics. And what they say is basically that our bodies are just housing our spirit or our souls. So our bodies are just a reflection of what's going on with the vibration patterns in our mind. And let's talk with our mind, what we're talking about is our thought patterns, our belief patterns that then create our emotions. And all of those things have a frequency or an energy, a vibration. And so if we're in patterns of chronic stress, chronic emotional stress, that becomes reflected in our bodies. So in the mindset world, our bodies are neutral. They give us a lot of powerful information and clues if there's something off in our minds so that we can look at it in a different way. We can go back and figure out the mind patterns that are needing to be healed or changed or shifted in order for us to have emotions that feel better, more peace, more calm, more joy, and then that becomes reflected in our bodies. That's kind of the gist of it. It's about getting yourself out of fight or flight mode and into a calm, peaceful state of mind because that's when your body can heal. If you think about it, when you are stressed out emotionally, all the things, your body creates chemistry that continues the inflammation. It's all of these, extra cortisol, extra inflammation. Your body can't heal when you're in chronic fight or flight mode. So you've got to pull yourself out of chronic fight or flight to a peaceful, calm state, and then your body has a chance to heal. So let's go over when we're talking about mindset work, we want to we want to do an assessment of our thoughts, our belief systems, and our emotions. And that's where we pick up our patterns and what needs to be healed. So Louise Hay does a great job. She's deceased, but she has a great body of work that has the mind-body connection. So if you've got any symptom, it's a starting point. It's a great starting point to look at her books and look up the symptom, and she'll have the emotional component or the belief or the thought pattern and see if you resonate with what she says. So for cancer, she would say that cancers are typically deep hurts, long-standing resentments, like so years of patterns of resentment, or maybe a deep secret or a grief that's eating away at yourself, or carrying hatreds. So that would be the emotional component. So number one, I want you to do an assessment of yourself. Where are my emotions at? Have I been stuck in some form of anger for quite a while, for years, for decades? So any form of anger, just general anger, hatred of the self, hatred of others, even irritation, frustration, or resentments, resenting your life, resenting other people, resenting your job, your boss, whatever. Do an honest assessment of your emotional state because anger is such a poison in our bodies. It starts to disrupt some things somewhere, somehow. And that was my deal. I learned anger growing up. I thought it was just how we were supposed to respond. I thought it was how I was supposed to be in the world. Until, I got to my 40s and I wasn't able to heal myself from a few different things until I let go of my anger. And for a lot of people, just the whole anger thing is we feel our anger keeps us safe, or we feel it is doing something for us. Like if I let go of my anger, who would I be? If I let go of my anger, I wouldn't be safe. People would be trampling all over me and using me, and we don't want to be a doormat. But anger is a poison in our bodies. And so you take a look at these things in a different way so that you can let that stuff go. I wasn't going to let my anger go until I realized that I was making incorrect assumptions about my anger. And once I could see that I was incorrect in my assumptions, then it was a lot easier to let things go. So that's mindset work. So one, do you have the emotional patterns of anger, hatred, irritation, frustration, long held deep resentments? That would be a clue. If you resonate with that, you're going to need to unpack and unravel and unlearn those particular emotions. You have to look a little bit deeper. It's not just letting go of the emotion, but looking at the thought pattern, the belief patterns that are underneath the emotions. And if that resonates with you, you might like my YouTube video, 10 Realizations That Helped Me Heal My Anger, on my website, drjoannetully.com. I have a 3-day Heal the Anger and Gain the Emotional Advantage challenge that is delivered via email, so that might speak to you as well. But let's go on to the second area, that if you have cancer or know somebody who has cancer, the second area that we need to look at in our minds if you want to heal yourself is just the basic belief patterns, the limiting beliefs like, I'm not lovable, I'm not deserving, I'm not worthy, I don't matter, what's the use, what's the point, life's difficult. All of those types of limiting beliefs really set the stage to tank our health, basically. So, and a lot of people have a belief that they don't feel safe being healthy. Like it's not, they don't feel safe. They don't feel worthy of being healthy and happy. So we have to work through that. And that gets those beliefs. We pick those up usually as children somewhere along the line, and we have to realize that they're not true. But until we take a look at them, they run our lives on autopilot. So, and so how about the third? The third area, if someone has cancer, you have to take a look at, usually there's an underlying component of just a fear, a strong fear of death and dying. And this is a big thing. I did a small little course on fear of death and dying. It's a bonus within my master programs. But if that's something you're interested in, sometimes I put it out on my website for $25 as just a single course. That might speak to you. And then the fourth area that you have to look at, are you just focused and obsessed with cancer in general? Like, do you take a look at all the stats and everything going on with cancer? Do you have relatives or friends or colleagues or whatever that have died of cancer? And so you're just always like, cancer is just always there in front of you. Or do you work in an industry where it's just, you keep hearing that like a lot of your coworkers will end up with this type of cancer? Or, if you're, my dad, he did this with his lungs. He was a body man, a mechanic his whole life. And he also had a paint booth in his shop for years. And I remember him saying specifically, like, I'm going to have lung issues. I'm probably going to end up with lung cancer because of the paint booth and all the chemicals. Well, he ended up with COPD, but his belief system created an illness within him. And that's how we do things. That's how we create certain things. It starts with a belief. So check your focus and your obsession with cancer. If you have that, sometimes you just have to pull away and stop researching, stop looking at it, or look at it in a different way. So those are the 4 main areas for just general cancer. Now, I did another video specifically for breast cancer, and for other specific areas, maybe you could look up for yourself within Louise Hay's work, look up the specific area. So for example, if it was pancreatic cancer, the pancreas has to do with like if you've lost the sweetness for life. So there might be something there. Bladder cancer. Sometimes you're literally pissed off. So the body is very literal like that. So that can help give you clues to, which areas to start looking at in order to heal your body. And one more thing too that really is well worth looking into. There's a book by Anita Morjani called Dying to Be Me. And Anita had stage 4 lymphoma cancer, and she was taken to the hospital. Her organs were shutting down. She went into a coma, and she was dying, and she had a near death experience. And her story is so amazing because it's so well documented. It's medically documented. And it's been a while since I read her book, but I think the gist of it was during her near death experience, then she got all of her answers on how she created the cancer herself. It was from her fear of cancer and fear of death and dying. And once she switched over to love and let love back in and came back to share that with others, I believe it was just within 5 weeks, all traces of cancer were completely gone. And it's just a beautiful story. So Anita Morjani, the book is Dying to Be Me. It's really a great, inspiring, uplifting read if you're curious to know more. But so what she did, you don't have to have a near-death experience, but you do have to shift over from the fear-based thought system to the love-based thought system. Clean up your thought and belief patterns, clean up your emotions that are not serving you. And that's when your body then starts to reflect the peace and calm that is your natural state. So hopefully that helps. If you are curious about working with me or seeing what else I have, you might like some other of my webinars that are on my website, drjoannetully.com. Go click the button for the free or low cost trainings, and you'll find some things there. One thing that might interest you, maybe check out Learn to Heal Yourself 3-step breakthrough process, I think is what it is. That one's a really popular one. So hopefully that helps. Please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss anything. And like this video. If it was helpful for you, share it out to others who might benefit. And thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.